Awakening the listener. My sister, my mother, my queen, do you know how powerful you truly are? So many women grow older believing that their time has passed, that their value has dimmed, or that their beauty has faded. But hear me clearly. Age does not take away from you. It adds to you. Your years are not a burden. They are a crown, woven with strength, with lessons, with grace. Every line on your face is not a flaw, but a verse written in the poetry of your life. Each wrinkle is a story of laughter shared, tears shed, and storms survived. Every gray strand of hair is not the fading of youth, but the shining silver of wisdom. The world may glorify youth, but heaven glorifies wisdom, resilience, and the quiet strength that only time can give. Today, I want you to awaken to this truth. You are not just older, you are deeper. You are not fading, you are ripening. You are not being forgotten, you are being refined. Your spirit, your presence, your very being carries a weight that cannot be measured by age, but only by the richness of your soul. Think about it. A young tree may stand tall, but it is the older tree with roots deep in the soil that can withstand storms. It is the tree that has seen seasons come and go that offers the strongest shade and the sweetest fruit. And in the same way, an older woman carries within her the power of seasons, the spring of beginnings, the summer of passions, the autumn of reflection, and the winter of wisdom. But here is the awakening. Not every woman who grows older grows stronger. Strength, radiance, dignity, these do not arrive simply with age. They are chosen, they are built, they are lived out in daily habits. It is in the choices you make each morning, in the way you speak to yourself, in the way you treat your body, and in the way you connect to God and others, that you become powerful. And that is why we are here. To discover the 5 habits that make an older woman not just a woman of age, but a woman of radiance, a woman of influence, a woman of spiritual beauty. I want you to know this. You are not too old to start again. You are not too late to dream, to love, to create, to heal, or to rise. If you are breathing, then God is not finished with you. Your life still has purpose. Your presence still carries light, and your story is still unfolding. So as you listen, open your heart. Release the lies that tell you aging is loss, and embrace the truth that aging is awakening. This is not the closing of your book. It is the opening of a powerful new chapter. And within this chapter, your habits will shape the woman you continue to become, the essence of inner power. There comes a time in every woman's life when she realizes that true beauty is not in how she looks, but in how she carries her spirit. A woman may wear the finest clothes, the brightest jewels, or the richest perfumes, but if her soul is restless, the world will feel it. And yet, a woman with peace in her heart can enter a room with no adornment, and people will turn toward her light. That is the essence of inner power. An older woman who radiates strength does not beg for respect. She becomes respect. She does not chase love. She attracts it by the love she gives and the dignity she holds. Her secret is not loudness, but quiet confidence. Her weapon is not anger, but patience. Her habit is prayer before complaint, gratitude before worry, and reflection before reaction. Why? Because life has taught her that peace is more precious than victory in an argument. She has learned that silence can speak louder than unnecessary words, and that self-control is not weakness, but mastery. She has faced storms that younger souls cannot even imagine. She has buried dreams and planted new ones. She has watched people walk away and discovered that God never did. And through it all, she has found herself unshaken, because her power comes not from the world, but from within. This kind of woman does not measure her worth by the mirror. She does not let society's shallow definition of beauty dictate her confidence. She knows that the glow of her skin may fade, but the glow of her spirit grows brighter every day she chooses faith, discipline, and love. She stands tall, not because she has never fallen, but because she has learned how to rise again and again. Think about it. How many times has life pressed you down? How many moments have tried to break you? And yet here you are, listening, breathing, learning, still carrying the flame of hope inside you. That is not weakness. That is resilience. That is inner power. A woman of essence is not moved by every opinion. She does not shape herself to please everyone because she understands one eternal truth. When you belong to God, you are already enough. She invests her time in prayer, in reading, in growing, in feeding her mind with wisdom, instead of drowning in the noise of comparison. She is generous, but not foolish. She forgives, but does not forget her worth. She gives love freely, but guards her energy wisely. She listens more than she speaks, and when she speaks, her words carry weight, because they rise from a place of reflection, not impulse. That is the essence of inner power. It is not about being louder, richer, or more admired. It is about being rooted in truth, unshaken by storms, and lit from within by a peace that no one can take away. Habits of dignity and strength. Strength is not something a woman suddenly discovers in one day. It is built piece by piece through the habits she chooses to live by. Dignity is not bought, it is cultivated. Every older woman who carries herself with grace, confidence, and wisdom has been shaped by the small daily choices that grew into powerful habits. One of her most precious habits is waking up with purpose. She does not simply rise because the alarm demands it. She rises because her soul is alive with intention. She greets the morning not with complaint, but with gratitude. Even when her body feels weary, she lifts her spirit in prayer and whispers, "Thank you, God, for another day." This single habit changes the energy of her entire life. Another habit that makes her radiant is the discipline of choosing peace over conflict. She has learned through years of experience that not every battle deserves her energy. She does not waste her breath on gossip, nor does she allow anger to control her. When provoked, she may choose silence, for silence is sometimes the loudest form of strength. Her dignity is preserved not in what she fights for, but in what she rises above. She also practices care for her body, not out of vanity, but out of reverence. She understands that her body is a temple, entrusted to her for a lifetime. She eats to nourish, moves to strengthen, and rests to restore. She does not allow neglect to weaken her, nor obsession to control her. Balance is her habit, and discipline is her companion. Her mind is another garden she tends daily. She reads, she reflects, she learns. She does not let her thoughts grow stale. She knows that knowledge is food for the soul, and wisdom is water for the spirit. Even in later years, she refuses to stop growing, because she believes that the mind must never grow old. This woman has also mastered the habit of guarding her tea, ongwe. She speaks life, not poison. She encourages rather than destroys. She understands that words have the power to build or to break, and she chooses to be a builder. Her family, her friends, her community, everyone who hears her voice feels the blessing of her wisdom. And perhaps one of her most sacred habits is humility. She carries herself with confidence, but without arrogance. She knows that dignity is not about being above others. It is about walking beside them with respect. She is firm when she must be, gentle when she can be, and fair in all things. These habits are not practiced in perfection, but in persistence. Day after day, year after year, she molds herself into a woman who cannot be shaken by circumstances. Her strength is not in muscles or wealth, but in the way she lives with integrity, grace, and unwavering faith. Such a woman is a pillar, a light, a living example of what true dignity and strength look like. The spiritual flame. There is a fire within every woman, but not every woman learns how to keep it burning. For many, life's storms, disappointments, and betrayals attempt to put out that flame. But the older woman who radiates true strength has discovered the secret. Her flame is not lit by the world, but by her spirit, and no one can extinguish what God Himself has placed within her. This flame begins with connection. She is connected to her Creator, the source of her strength. Prayer is not an occasional act for her. It is her breath, her lifeline. When she rises in the morning, her first conversation is not with the world, but with God. When troubles press on her, she does not run to fear, she runs to faith. Her habit of seeking God in everything keeps her flame steady, even when the winds of life try to blow it out. She is also connected to herself. She knows her worth and does not apologize for it. She is not confused about who she is, because she has taken the time to sit in silence, to reflect, and to embrace both her strengths and her scars. She does not need the validation of crowds, for she has found acceptance in the mirror of her own soul. Her flame is not a desperate fire for attention, but a steady glow of self-respect and inner peace. Her flame also touches the people she loves. She carries the habit of intercession, praying for her children, her grandchildren, her community, even strangers she will never meet. Her presence brings comfort. Her words bring healing. She listens when others speak, not to answer quickly, but to understand deeply. She knows that sometimes the most spiritual act is not preaching, but listening with compassion. This flame is also the light of forgiveness. She has learned that carrying bitterness is like carrying stones. It weighs the soul down. She forgives easily, not because she forgets, but because she refuses to let anger define her spirit. Forgiveness is her freedom, and it keeps her heart light, her spirit open, and her flame burning bright. Her flame is wisdom. She has seen enough seasons to understand that storms pass, that pain becomes strength, and that every ending carries a hidden beginning. She does not panic when life shifts. She steadies herself, trusting that what is meant for her will never miss her. She lives by faith, not fear, and her flame becomes a guide for those still stumbling in darkness. When she enters a room, she does not need to announce herself. Her spirit speaks first. People feel her presence like warmth, like a candle in the cold, like a gentle fire that reassures instead of burns. This is the spiritual flame, unshaken, unbroken, unending. Such a woman does not merely live, she illuminates. Her habits of prayer, reflection, forgiveness, and love create a light that spreads far beyond herself. She becomes not only a survivor of life's storms, but a lighthouse for others still searching for their way. Legacy and impact. Every woman leaves something behind, whether she realizes it or not. Life is not just about the days we live, but about the footprints we leave on the hearts of others. The older woman who carries herself with wisdom and strength knows this truth deeply. Her legacy is not measured in possessions, but in presence. Her impact is not in what she owns, but in who she has become. She understands that every choice she makes is a seed planted in the soil of the future. When she chooses patience, she plants peace in the hearts of her children. When she chooses kindness, she plants healing in her community. When she chooses courage, she inspires others to rise above fear. Her life becomes a garden, and long after she has walked through her last season, her fruits will still feed generations to come. Her legacy is not wealth, though she may have worked hard to provide. Her true wealth is in the wisdom she has shared. Her grandchildren may forget the gifts she bought them, but they will never forget the stories she told, the prayers she whispered, or the way she looked at them with eyes full of unconditional love. Those are the treasures that last forever. She also knows that legacy is built not only in words but in example. A woman who walks with dignity teaches without speaking. A woman who forgives teaches others how to release pain. A woman who rises after every fall teaches resilience to those who watch her. She may not stand in classrooms, but her life is a daily lesson for anyone who is paying attention. Impact is not always loud. Sometimes it is quiet, steady, and unseen. A gentle hand on a child's shoulder, a meal cooked for a neighbor, a prayer whispered for a struggling soul. These small acts are seeds of greatness. Years later, those who were touched by her light may not remember her name, but they will remember how she made them feel. That is the kind of impact that outlives the body and echoes into eternity. Her legacy also stretches beyond her family. She knows that every soul she encounters is a chance to leave the world better than she found it. Whether it is through her work, her kindness to strangers, or her involvement in her community, she leaves fingerprints of goodness wherever she goes. People may forget the details of her life, but they will never forget the spirit of her presence. And when she is gone, her legacy will not be written on stone, but in the lives of those she touched. The love she poured out, the wisdom she lived by, and the faith she carried will become the inheritance she leaves behind. Her impact will not end with her. It will ripple outward, flowing into the future through the people she inspired, healed, and guided. This is the true measure of a woman's greatness, not how long she lived, but how deeply she touched others. Closing call to power. So now, my sister, my mother, my queen, hear this truth deeply. The journey of your life is not behind you, it is within you. Every habit you choose, every word you speak, every step you take in this season has the power to shape not only your destiny, but the destinies of those who follow after you. You are not just living, you are leading. You are not just existing, you are awakening. Too often, society whispers lies into the ears of women as they grow older. Lies that say, your best years are gone, your beauty has faded, your purpose has passed. But let me declare to you, those words are chains, and you were never meant to live in chains. The truth is this, you are still becoming, you are still rising, you are still unfolding into the powerful woman you were designed to be. Aging is not a decline, it is a refining. The fire of youth may be fierce, but the fire of wisdom is steady and unshakable. The world may glorify what is temporary, but heaven glorifies what is eternal. And what is eternal is the light you carry inside, the flame of your faith, your courage, your compassion, your resilience. That is the power no wrinkle can erase, no season can diminish, no voice can silence. Now is the time to walk with grace. Let your steps be strong, not because life is perfect, but because you are unbreakable. Let your words be fire, not to destroy, but to light the path for others. Let your presence be a reminder that dignity, wisdom, and love are far greater than any riches this world can offer. Do not hide your light. Do not shrink to make others comfortable. Do not believe that you are too old to dream, to create, to love, to transform. If you are still breathing, then your assignment is not finished. The very fact that you are here, listening now, means there is still a chapter waiting for you to write it with boldness. So choose habits that lift you higher. Choose prayer over worry, gratitude over complaint, forgiveness over bitterness, and love over fear. Choose to nourish your body, sharpen your mind, and expand your spirit. Choose to be a woman whose life is not just lived but remembered, whose light does not just shine but guides. And as you walk this journey, know this: you are never alone. God walks with you. The wisdom of your years walks with you. The strength of every trial you've endured walks with you. And the love you've given out into the world will return to you in ways you cannot yet imagine. So rise, my queen. Rise with dignity. Rise with power. Rise with faith. Step into each day, not as a woman growing older, but as a woman growing deeper, stronger, brighter. Your flame is alive. Your purpose is calling, and your story is still unfolding. And so, beloved listener, we come to the end of this journey, but truly it is not an ending. It is a beginning. We have walked together through the habits that shape dignity, strength, wisdom, and inner power. We have seen how prayer lifts the spirit, how peace guards the heart, how forgiveness frees the soul, and how gratitude turns every moment into a blessing. These are not just habits, they are pathways into a higher way of living. The message of today is simple yet profound. Aging is not a loss, it is a gain. Every year you have lived has carved into you a depth that no youth can imitate. Every scar you carry is proof of survival. Every tear you have shed has watered seeds of compassion in your heart. And every gray strand of hair is a crown of wisdom resting upon your head. What does this mean for you right now? It means you are not finished. It means your story is still alive. your purpose still breathing, your impact still unfolding. Whether you are in your 50s, 60s, 70s, or beyond, your life is not behind you, it is within you, and the world still needs the light you carry. Perhaps you feel weary. Perhaps life has been unkind. Perhaps you have lost people, dreams, or opportunities along the way. But remember this: the flame inside you has not gone out. The very fact that you are here, listening to these words, means that God is not finished with you yet. There is still more for you to do, more for you to give, more for you to become. Your legacy is being written right now. It is written in the way you speak, in the love you give, in the faith you hold, in the example you set. Your children, your grandchildren, your neighbors, your community, they are watching, learning, and receiving from the life you live. Never underestimate the power of your presence. So walk forward boldly. Choose habits that honor your spirit. Wake up with gratitude. Walk in dignity and sleep in peace. Guard your tongue, strengthen your body, and feed your mind. Carry your faith like armor, your love like a torch, and your wisdom like a crown. These are the habits that make not only an older woman, but a queen, a light, a guide for all who follow. As you go from here, remember, you are not fading. You are flourishing. You are not weakening. You are awakening. You are not forgotten. You are chosen. Your life is still a masterpiece in progress, and every day is a new stroke of God's divine brush on the canvas of your destiny. So rise, my sister, my mother, my queen. Rise with grace. Rise with fire. Rise with faith. The world is waiting for the light only you can bring.